The world would know him as Genghis Khan, the emperor and strategist who built the biggest empire in history from almost nothing. But before the empire, he was Temujin, a boy born into a powerful yet complicated family on the Mongolian steppe. His father was Yesugei, a tribal leader of the Borjigan clan. His mother was Oilun, a strong woman taken by Yesugei from her first husband, Shiladu, of the Merkit. Yesugei already had another wife, and Temujin was the firstborn son in the family. His siblings were Kasar, Hachiyun, Temugei, Temulin from Oilun, and Begter, Belgute from Yesugei's first wife. In this world of family rivalry, survival, and hardship, the story of Temujin began. When Temujin was around 9 years old, his father Yesugei took him across the steppe to find a future wife. There, they met Berte, the daughter of Dei Sechin, a leader of the Ongirat people. A betrothal was arranged, and young Temujin was left with Berte's family, as was the custom of the steppe. But on the journey home, Yesugei stopped among Tatars, old enemies of his people. They recognized him and poisoned his food. Yesugei reached home, but he was dying. Temujin was called back from Berte's family, and the boy's life changed forever. After Temujin's father, Yesugei, died, he was fighting for survival, and his family was abandoned by his own tribe. Inside that broken household, tension grew between Temujin and his half-brother, Begter. Begter began taking control of food and hunting spoils, and Temujin saw him as a threat to his mother's children. One day, Temujin and his brother Kasar confronted Begter and killed him, a dark moment in Temujin's childhood. Olun was furious, but the event showed how harsh survival had become, and how early Temujin learned power, loyalty, and fear. When Temujin was still a young boy, he met Jamuka, another child from the Mongol steppe. But their lives were not the same. Jamuka came from a wealthy and respected family, while Temujin's family was struggling to survive. Even with that difference, the two boys became close friends and formed a bond known as Onda, sworn brotherhood. They exchanged gifts and promised loyalty, a powerful steppe tradition that was meant to last for life. For a time, Jamuka was not Temujin's enemy. He was his closest friend, ally, and brother by oath. But the difference between them would grow, and this friendship would one day become one of the greatest rivalries in Mongol history. The Taichud tribe had once been close to his father's alliance. They knew his family, they knew his name, but after Yesugei was gone, old alliances no longer protected him. When he was 14 years old, they stole Temujin's horses, leaving his family with almost nothing. Temujin followed their trail across the open steppe, with no army, no wealth, and no power. During that chase, he met Bo-Orchu, a young man who chose to stand beside him. Together they chased down the thieves and recovered the horses. That day, Temujin did not just find help. He found a loyal friend and one of the future commanders of the Mongol Empire. After Temujin took back his stolen horses, the Taichud realized he was not as helpless as they thought. To them, he was no longer just an abandoned boy. He was a threat that could grow stronger. The Taichud captured Temujin and locked a heavy wooden cane around his neck. With his hands trapped and his movement limited, Temujin was watched closely in the Taichud camp. But even as a prisoner, he stayed calm, waiting for one small chance to escape. This moment did not destroy Temujin. It became another step in the making of Genghis Khan. After escaping from the Taichud, Temujin returned to his family. But safety did not come with freedom. His family stayed hidden in the woods, moving carefully and avoiding the people who wanted him captured again. They lived with little food, few animals, and no strong tribe to protect them. But those years in hiding made Temujin stronger, sharper, and more careful about who he could trust. By the time Temujin turned 18, he was no longer just a boy trying to survive. He was ready to step back into the world, find allies, and begin the path that would lead to Genghis Khan.